In a tavern lit by a flickering glow, these strings where the ales and the pixels flow, with a laugh so hearty it could shake the beams. It's a madness, king of digital dreams. Raise your mug to the man on the screen, with his banter sharp and his wit so keen. Click, laugh, cheer, let the good times roll. It's a madness, the bard of your soul.
What's that? This, my friend, is a pipe.
Fights,
comes
dragons
in
with a
paints.
pint in his hand. Quests
I'm getting
through
one.
dungeons of
You got all half already!
From late night raids to the meme-filled chat, you'll find your place in the world he's at. Boy, you there? Pull up a chair. He hollers loud without a care. Raise your mug to the man on the screen, with his banter sharp and his wit so keen. Click, laugh, cheer, let the good times roll. It's a madness, the bard of your soul. Boy, you there? Pull up a chair. He hollers loud without a care. Raise your mug to the man on the screen, with his banter sharp and his wit so keen. Click, laugh, cheer, let the good times roll. It's a madness, the bard of your soul. You know my pixels, he's the host of virtual taverns, proud his boast. The ale might be fake, but the laughter's true. It's a madness, he's calling for you.
What's that?
This, my friend, is a pint.
It comes in paints.
He's the host.
I'm getting one.
You got all half already!
Man's proudest boast. The ale might be fake, but the laughter's true. It's a madness, he's calling for you. Raise your mug to the man on the screen, with his banter sharp and his wit so keen. Click, laugh, cheer, let the good times roll. It's a madness, the bard of your soul. You there?
What's that?
A cherry hollers
This, my
loud
friend,
without a care.
is a pint.
It comes in paints.
He's the host
I'm getting
of
one.
virtual taverns.
You got all half already!
The ale might be fake, but the laughter's true. It's a madness, he's calling for you.
What's that?
This, my friend, is a pint.
It comes in paints. I'm getting one.
You got all half already!
Enchilada, enchilada, extra spicy salsa. Eat it in the kitchen, don't step in the lava.
What's that?
This, my friend, is a pint.
It comes in pints?
Oh.
I can get you one.
You've had a whole half already!
Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Give me that.
Hi, everyone. Today is Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday. That was yesterday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. How are you all doing? I hope you're all having a good day. We did have a little bit of a schedule change. So Wim and I decided that I was going to go live tonight, and she is going to take Friday. So there's a little bit of a swip swap there because she'll be available that night. So that's why we're here. Let's see. So we go scrolling back. We did get a follower while we were offline, so thank you for that. Hi, Jen. Welcome in. Oh, we got, looks like one or two more followers after the stream started, so thank you so very much for those as well. We do have anonymous follows turned on, so if you do follow while the stream is live, do appreciate it. I mean, we appreciate it whenever you follow regardless. Always happy that you're here. If you are still here and you want to continue to lurk, that's totally okay. If you want to pop in and say hello, also welcome to do that as well.
It's a pint.
It comes in pints?
We got a Kim Carlotta coming in. We got a Quinn coming in. We got Bethany coming in. We got a Rudy. Rudy, thank you so much for that resub. I really appreciate it. And then we got Jen is a shark streaking through the chat. I will respectfully avert my eyes. Yeah.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much for that gift sub. I really appreciate it. Giving that one out to Bethany. We got a hype train going, y'all. We just got here. I mean, I'm not complaining, but we just got here. We got the hype train started. I think it said something about we hit a goal. Yeah, new sub goal of 10 was just completed, so y'all know what that means. And then, yeah, so since we are playing Disney Dreamlight Valley tonight, which is a known game with known kind of events and things like that, hitting damn goals. Thank you so much for the bits as well, Jen. So because we're playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, which has a known kind of set of events that can happen, combined with the general event set, it calculates out to there are 69 bingo items that could happen during the game. And we do love a nice 69. Thank you so much for the bits and the gift sub and just the resub, like all of it. Y'all are just too kind, too generous. Both with your time for just being here, hanging out, as well as with your money, and just thank you so much. So because we did hit that goal, I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. Hi, Wim. Yes, always nice. Turn the music up just a little bit. So because we did hit that sub goal, that y'all know what that means. We get the sour candy time, which I've already had a little bit of sour. I didn't actually ask, but I'm having a Madrinas that was provided by Wim. She made that whenever I got home from work because she was making one for herself, which I always appreciate. I don't know what flavor this is. It's got some sour to it though. Like I open it up and I take a lick. Revenge for Wim. But yeah, it's got some sort of sour like tang to it. Take a drink. You did tell me what flavor. In one ear and out the other with this one. Bethany, yeah, please don't feel obligated to stay. We really appreciate you being here, but also I think all of us, especially Jen, understands the importance of good sleep. But thank you so much for coming and hanging out. And I did see that you were planning on lurking as well. At least I think that was, yeah. So yeah, please feel free to lurk if you fall asleep. That is totally okay. Yeah, definitely get some good rest. We do like the sleep. All right. So we still have the Rudy. Because it's just the way that timing worked out. I was watching while I was still at the office. I had a meeting that I had to go to that it was like 2 hours before the actual launch that I had this meeting. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done with my meeting. I am going home. And of course, because the way that things worked out, I was picking up the mail literally as the launch window opened, and they were like, all right, let's do this. Because it was good to go. Like, Aaron, thank you so much for that resubscription as well. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Am I missing something? Oh, we finished level 1 on that hype train. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, level 2. Nice. But yeah, I was driving home and like, I had Twitch pulled up on my phone in the car. And so it was coming over the audio and I could hear all the stuff that they were talking about and things like that. So I was able to kind of track the progression of how it was going. And I caught like, by the time I got in and sat down at my desk and all that kind of stuff, it had already launched. So I missed the actual like specific launch, but I was able to see the progression of like the main engine cut off and all that kind of stuff. And it was fantastic. Like I was having a conversation about it with one of the guys on my team who is really into this kind of thing. And so he was giving me his hyper focus stuff on it. And putting aside all of the politics and other things that are associated with stuff like this, like, it's so cool. Like, this is like, and I'm not too proud to admit that I tear up a little bit whenever stuff like this happens, because it's progress. It is like a huge group of people coming together to do this work, to move humanity forward and to push us to like make those advances and like push us forward in the galaxy. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's objectively fucking cool. Like, there is a lot of things that have to go very specifically right for this kind of thing to work. And to see it happen and to hear all of these things working correctly, and for these people to achieve this kind of thing, there are a million different things that could go wrong. And the fact that none of them have so far, it's incredible. And it's a testament to how hard these crews work and how much these people do to make these things go right. And it's just incredible. So I do tend to romanticize things a little bit, and I tend to, when I'm in the correct frame of mind and all the brain chemicals are working correctly and all that kind of stuff, I do have a very positive outlook on things, and I try to not be toxic about it. We have one of our other streamer friends who was kind of, he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's a very busy person. And he was like, you know, he's doing his the whole it's not rocket science is saying for a reason. So much that goes into being involved in that. Absolutely. But he was like, you know, he would rather be streaming than doing the other things that he has to be doing. And it's like, okay, but the sooner and more efficiently you get the things done that you need to do, then that means that it's that much sooner that you can get back to doing the stuff that you want to do. And that's kind of where I'm at with the whole voiceover thing too, which I need to talk about that a little bit too. Because good stuff happening there too. But it's like, it's being an adult sucks. There's no two ways about it. But doing the things that we have to do enables us to do the things that we want to do. And I'm trying to focus on that and keep that mindset going for myself, and like, you know, trying to help uplift the people who are also not necessarily in that best headspace. Sounds good, Jen. Enjoy the lurk and enjoy putting the goob to bed. Get some snuggles in. But yeah, being able to do those things and make those, you know, positive steps to be able to do the cool stuff is just, it's an amazing thing. Speaking of, he was a pain in my ass today. Oh no. Well, good luck. And I have to say, Jen, go do your thing. Like, obviously, welcome in, Cruz. I hope you're having a good evening. I love that this is a space. Ooh, cool emote. I love that this is a space where people can feel like they're okay saying stuff like my kid was a pain in the ass, because it's not a failing of your child to be a pain in the ass. It's your child being a child. And that's okay. Like, this is a space where you can talk about that, because it doesn't reflect on, you know, choo. I'm doing really well, Cruz. We're having a pretty good day today. Some really cool science shit happened, which we got to see, and we launched 4 people into space in fucking science. Like, that's all there is to that. But dog was being a Karen today, kept barking at mailman and water people. Yeah. And it's like, it's okay to acknowledge that sometimes things don't go the way that we want them to go. Sometimes they don't work the way that we want them to work. And I need to be better about telling myself this all of the time. Just because things don't necessarily work out the way that you want them to go, or they're not going the way that you want them to be, or the person is being a pain in the ass, that is not a reflection on you as a person. And I have to drill that into my head. Because then, on the flip side, there are days where cool shit happens. Whether it's we launch a rocket into space, or you do the really cool thing at work, or you do the really cool thing and you get a voiceover role, which, tying it back to me, because my stream, it's all about me here. I'm really not that selfish. I do want to hear about positive things that are happening for all of you too. I'm starting to get off the rails a little bit here. Good things do happen as well. So sometimes you just kind of have to drag through the muck to find the good stuff, the cool stuff, the positive stuff, the uplifting stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, dogs don't always speak English. And sometimes they want to talk, and they want to make themselves heard, and sometimes they're just going to drive you a little crazy with it. But hopefully they calm down and quiet down and relax. Yeah, they want attention. They want somebody to love. But yeah, so I did get a voiceover role that it is for an audiobook. It's, yeah, Rudy will gladly play with your puppy. I never took it on a walk today because of the rain. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that it's raining. Yeah, Rudy will gladly play with your pup. But yeah, so I did get an audiobook role, job, whatever. Project is the word that my brain was looking for and could not find. So I'll be working on that. Yeah, super excited about that, because it gets me specific exposure, specific experience, something specific to put on my resume that says, yes, somebody has paid me to read this book. I probably, so right now I
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur.
Finished the project yet. I won't be able to say the name of the book. I don't want to, give out too much information or anything like that. Once it is out and available, I probably will. However, I will also say up front that it is a not religious themed book. It's not like an exciting like science fiction, fantasy, something like that I would really like to get into. It is more of a theoretical theology book, so it is a little more religion based. That's not a problem. I don't have a problem with people's religion. It is not smut. It is decidedly not smut. I'd be okay with smut. I'm okay with this one too, because like I said, it is a good experience. I'm still working through it. I think the idea behind the book is good. It is one of those books that is not for everybody though, because like I said, it is very religious. It is very spiritual. Yeah. Okay. We'll just say that I'm reading smut. So like I said, it's probably not one that, let me take that back, because I don't necessarily know where everybody's religious leanings lie in this channel. I am doing so I'm working on the audiobook for it. So I will be providing the voice for the book, for distribution. So yeah, I am not nearly talented enough to be able to write a book. I just read it for other people. Thank you. So talking about the smut thing though, I'm in a group on Facebook. I know, boomer Facebook. I actually am in a group that somebody had posted the other day that they work with a publisher who it sounds like works pretty regularly with people who do publish the more saucy novels. And it sounds like they do a lot of dual narration. So like the male perspective of the book is narrated by a male and the female perspective is narrated by women. And they posted in this group, they were like, hey, we have a ton of female narrators, but we don't have very many male narrators. So if you would be interested in joining our, lack of a better term, stable of male narrators for our books, here's the audition sheet, here's the application page, blah, blah, blah. Reach out, let us know. So I did apply for that last night. They're going to review my audio and all that kind of stuff. And if they feel like I would be a good fit. Not that kind of stable. They don't care about my emotional state. They just want to know if I am willing to be a part of their group of narrators. No. If there was any sort of stability required, I would be the first one out. But yeah, so I have not heard back from them yet, but that's okay. Like it's been less than 24 hours since that happened, and I don't know what kind of responses they got to that, how many or anything like that. So, we'll hear back from them at some point, probably. In the meantime, I do have this other book that I'm working on. I have a lot of other irons in the fire in terms of applications and things like that. So feeling really good about it. Part of my crash out last Friday that I ended up not streaming was because of the voice work stuff. I've done a lot of auditions and I've submitted a lot of audio samples and things like that, and I had a moment of frustration. This is kind of the flip side of the almost toxic levels of positivity, where I went the opposite direction. I was having a bad brain chemical day, and my brain said, no, you're bad, you're terrible at this, and nobody's ever going to hire you. Forgetting that I've already been hired multiple times, and also looking through my list of my audition sheet, there's a lot of roles that I haven't been selected for. And so it was kind of a crash out day, but then I had really good talk with Wim, who is an amazing supportive partner. And we had a good conversation, and then I went back through and I looked at, because the sites that I'm on, like, they show you, like, if your audition has been reviewed and stuff like that. And going back through a lot of those auditions, because there are, yes, go Wim. Because there are so many very talented narrators and so many talented voice artists and things like that. A, you're not going to get every role you audition for. And two, depending on the amount of submissions that are put in, they may not even hear your audition depending on where you hit in that process, because they're looking for specific voice types and pacing and tone and things like that. And so I went back through my list. Like, I looked at the list that I have, that's everything that I've done, and then I compared that to the list from one of the websites, and it was like, okay, how many of these weren't even reviewed? Because again, whether they're reviewed is outside of my control. I'm not the one who's over there going, there's not somebody over there actively going, oh, this is Amanis, we don't want him. It's not that kind of a scenario. We have one role, we have 500 auditions for this role, and for whatever reason, mine just didn't get reviewed, and that's totally okay. It just means that they found somebody that they liked that fit what they needed before they got to my audition, and that's okay. I just have to remember that. But that was part of the crash out. So it's one of those things where it's like, just because I'm not landing every role doesn't mean that I'm not doing the right things. I've had multiple really large offering, like audition things that I've auditioned for that I was shortlisted for, which means, depending on how big their shortlist is, meaning that I could have been 1 out of 5 people that got it. And whether I was number 1 or number 5 on that list, I don't know what the specific count on the short list is, but I could have been number 1, or I could have been number 2, I could have been number 5. But the fact is that I was still on their short list, which means that of all the people auditioned, somebody said, okay, we might want this guy. So I have to keep that stuff in my head. But in the larger scheme of things, I don't remember where I was going with this. I have completely derailed my brain. Things don't always work out the way that we want them to work out, but that's okay. That just means that it's something different is going to happen. Something potentially better is going to happen. Because I also have a audition into another small publishing place, and sounds like in Oregon, for children's books, like children's versions of adult novels. So like my audition one was for the novel Moby Dick, but it sounds like a little more child oriented. So we'll see how that goes. And that one, it sounds like I found this one on TikTok. They posted and they're like, hey, we're a new publisher and we're looking for voiceover artists. Right here. So I submitted that actually this morning before I went to work. I was a little bit my job doesn't necessarily, I am not in a role where I need to be there 8 to 5 specifically. So I got to the office a little bit after 8 today so that I could get that audition submitted. So we'll see how that goes. Either way, voiceover stuff going really well, killing it. We're not going to have any more of the brain days, or at least we're going to try. In the meantime, we are going to play some Disney Dreamlight Valley because it is Wednesday. So if you are in the Discord, you might have already seen this. If you're not in the Discord, so the weekly Dream Snap challenge, I got my first 4,000 Moonstone Dream Snap reward this week for the, what was this one even called? Spring into Style. It's right there. Spring into Style submission. So if you did not see it, this was the Dream Snap from 2 weeks ago. It was a very spring themed oriented snap. This was my submission. I was really happy with it. Like, this is the first one that I looked at it and genuinely liked what I saw. Like, I take that back. First one that I loved what I saw. I always kind of look at them and I'm like, oh, you know, I know I could do better, but I'm not sure what to do. This one got me 4,000 Moonstone and I loved it. I would always like more, but this did really well. I think I got like 82 points out of 100. I think that's the scale. And I got 4,000 Moonstones. So I was really happy with it. So this week is the Small Wonder Dream Snap. So play with scale and enter a miniature world, create oversized worlds, and dress in a whimsical outfit to complete your vision. So we'll definitely be looking at that. Before we do that, though, I do want to we'll do the voting first really quick. So this week we're voting on the Wild West Wonders Dream Snap. So this is what I put in for that one. This one, I liked it. I didn't love it. I feel like I could have done better. I ran out of, so a lot of people talk about the spoon theory in other streams because I'm a tabletop role-playing game player. Yes, that's what it is. I think of it in spell slots, and I can post the link to where kind of it explains the theory and the difference between spoons versus spell slots. Not that either one is inherently wrong. Do whatever works for you. But instead of spoons, I use spell slots. I ran out of spoons by the end of the week, so I was able to get this one submitted. I like this one quite a bit. I didn't realize that Oswald was back there. I probably would have kicked him out, but I didn't think about it. That's okay. I like this one. I didn't love this one like I did with the spring one, but it still worked. There's a few things here and there. Like I wish I could have gotten a little more of the foliage down here. Could have moved the hay around maybe a little bit more. I did get a couple of the horses in here. So again, I was happy with it. So we'll see how it does. I don't anticipate getting another 4,000 this week, but we'll see how the current challenge goes. In the meantime, we can go ahead and vote. I am very hesitant on this because, yeah. So, I already know which of these two I'm going to vote for. I'll start with this one, though. They kind of did it. There's nothing else, but at least they got on the horse and they got the outfit. So the attempt was made. I'll give them credit for that. I'm not going to trash it. I'm not going to trash any of them. This one I feel like is better. Open space. Now that I'm aware of it, I see it. And yeah, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and vote for this one. And the hard thing is, I feel like a lot of these are going to be very similar. So we'll see how that goes. I like where this one is headed. They oversaturated it on the lighting because your girl is pasty. Super pasty. Again, not a bad snap. Between the two, I feel like this one overdid the lighting as well. But I like what they have going here as kind of a start. So we'll vote for that one. The lighting is rough on the first. Yes. Okay. So I feel like this one isn't really hitting for me. The outfit is interesting. I don't know how Western that is. And then I feel like they would have been better served maybe turning the barn around if they could. I don't know if you can. And I don't think I have this to be able to check. 'Cause it's like, I get what you're going for with the barn. Just turn it around. Show me the back that doesn't have the big Al's Toy Barn sign. So I don't feel like it was really well designed specifically for the Dream Snap. I feel like it was like, oh, I already have this in place, so let me just go take this picture and be done. And then I don't know what's happening with the goggles here. This one, I feel like this one is better. The really creative use of the rope here. I don't necessarily, I like the lighting, but I don't necessarily like where they have the sun because it makes it a little bit harder to see the rope, a little bit harder to kind of focus on this area because your eyes are so drawn to the sun because it is just so bright back there. And then it creates some really interesting shadows. And then the motifs, like, I get what they're going for, but I just don't feel like they're really necessary. And again, could have done more decorating in pretty much everywhere. So I'm actually going to go ahead and skip on that one. So this one I feel like is very similar to mine, which is fine. I feel like, again, they could have done more. I like that they have Maximus back here. I feel like they could have done more with it. And also turn that so that the bow isn't facing forward because that's very Christmas and it's, anyway, personal preference. I do like this one between these two. I think I prefer this one. I like the use of the, sepia tone. Again, probably a little too heavy on the brightness, just because you have this big, bright, whatever this is, that is just, it's taking your attention away from the center here. But in general, I like what they have going on here. The grandfather clock is nice. The barrels, it's got that very saloon is the word I was looking for. That very saloon feel to it. Kind of classic Western movie with the shading and things like that. So I do like this one. So I'm going to vote for that one. And if anybody else disagrees, like, please feel free to jump in. I think the only thing that is Western in this whole picture is what she's wearing and the fact that she's on the horse. And also Maximus looks a little confused and frightened. And then same thing with this one. The outfit, the horse is a bit much. Like, it's very pretty, not very Western. So I'm going to skip those. So I do like this one, kind of getting that desert feel going, because not every single thing that is Western happens in town. And so this is totally good. I feel like, again, they could have put more in here. Most Western movies that I've seen didn't have sunglasses, but anyway. But I feel like this is a really good base. I like that they have the cactus right up front to kind of give that little bit of depth of like, hey, here's right in front of you the cactus, and then the next layer back is the character and their horse, and then the next layer back is more cactus, and then the next layer back is the rock. So I feel like this is a really good start. I would have kept going. On the other side, I like the idea behind this one. First of all, I feel like they've got to be using that third person camera mode, and they are scrolled way out. Because there's a lot going on with this one, and there's a lot of pixelation and things like that. So that it kind of takes away from it. And then, there's so much going on between the carousel, which isn't very Western other than the horses on it. The photo booth, which the only thing that has going for it is that it's Toy Story with Woody. The building blocks, which are, again, Toy Story, not very Western. And then the fencing, which, So again, yes, there is a lot going on behind it. I like the idea of it, but I don't think it's a good fit for this snap. Because I don't want to be wasting skips. Of the two, I think I am going to go for the one on the left here. Just because, like I said, it feels like it's a good start. It's a good place to build off of. I just wish they had done more with it. This one is interesting. It feels farm, but not Western. It feels country, not Western. Because I hear Western and I think like showdown in the town square at high noon. See the thought process, but a little discombobulated. Yes. They got different types of trees going on. They have like what's with hey here? Like, again, I'm country, not Western. There is a distinction there. This one I feel like is a little closer. Again, see the thought process with this one too. I don't understand the pixelation that happens on some of these. I feel like I get the feeling like they put it right next to their one from last week with the spring thing. So again, I see where they're going. They've got kind of the blacksmithing setup going, which is a really cool, again, base layer. They could have done more with it though. again, I like the use of the desert area. They need to turn down the lighting. Because there's just... Turn down the lighting. Put more stuff on the sand. Don't overdo it. But turn down the lighting, because this is just... With that bright yellow sand, this is very bright. The eye patch is interesting. Don't know that I would have gone with the rose, but there may not be another eye patch style out there. I don't like the motifs. I know there are people that do. I know there are people that think that they're the greatest thing ever. Brunette Buckeye, Sam, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday, Sam and Raiders. Brunette Buckeye. Sorry, I'm trying to... Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all having a good evening. I hope you had a good stream. So let me, before I get into the spiel about me, Brunette Buckeye, welcome in. Thank you so much for bringing your community over. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a great stream. If you do need to raid and run, please feel free to do so. Pet my boys. Get yourself some food, go to the bathroom, get some water, get whatever you need. Thank you so much for bringing everybody over. I really appreciate it.
What's that?
If you have not been here before, if you are not familiar with the tavern, hello, I am Amonis. If you are new here, a couple things about me. I am a professional voiceover artist. I am a dice goblin. I love dice. I will buy all of the dice, regardless of if they're necessary or not, because that's just... We don't need that level of distinction about dice. Literally have to do all of the above. I'll be right back, but excited to see the DDV stuffs. Well, you're just in time. We're working through Dream Snap voting right now, so we have not started anything else yet. But yeah, I'm Amonis. I'm a voiceover artist. I'm a dice goblin, which ties into the I'm also a tabletop role-playing game player. Big fan of Pathfinder, a little bit less of a fan of D&D, but I'll play that as well. If you give me a chance to roll dice and smack stuff with a sword, I will do so. I'm a big reader. I'm a tech nerd. I am a former-ish WoW addict. Do not perceive the asterisk on that statement, and also do not listen to the chat, who will try to make you think it's still a thing, but it's not. I don't even think I've actually logged into WoW yet this weekend. I really should. And then I'm also a big fan of cooking and baking. Some of my favorite games are Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which is the aforementioned tabletop role-playing game. Big fan of Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is what we're playing right now. Big fan of Palia. Less so of a fan of Palia than I am with Disney Dreamlight Valley, but we're getting there. And then I am actually really excited. I need to get this added. I'm really excited for the impending beta release, at least, of Loftia. I am a Loftia partner, along with many of the other people in our community. Really looking forward to a new game. So we'll see how that goes. But if you are new here, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a great time hanging out in Brunette Buckeye's stream. I did not get a chance to pop in and see what they were up to, but what was everybody doing? What was going on? What was happening? What was the best part of that stream over there? We will get back into... So we're currently going through the Disney Dreamlight Valley Dream Snaps for the... I have already forgotten what it was called. Sidetracked. Sam was killing her bundle board today. That's awesome. I need to get in and do that. I am super not anywhere near where I need to be on that. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So we're looking at the Wild West Wonders Dream Snaps, and we're doing some voting, checking those out. I like to consider myself an expert now that I had 1 week where I got 4,000 moonstones. Tooting my own horn here, toot. Just kidding. But I get to vote, so I got to vote. So I like the idea of this one again. I like the railroad car back there. I like the desert. I don't like the motifs. I don't think, except for in very specific cases, like the person previously that used the rope and placed it really well. In general, I'm not a fan of the motifs because you get stuff like this with the sheriff star. If you could shrink that down farther and use it on yourself, I think it would be really cool. But at this size, it's too big, it's too much. Also, why is there a crocodile in the middle of the desert? Just asking. Anyway, on the flip side, again, I feel like, and this is not even something that I would have thought of a couple of weeks ago. Andy's in danger of getting stepped on. Exactly. People, take care of your crocodiles. How else are they supposed to eat Captain Hook's hand? Anyway, not something I would have thought about a couple of weeks ago, but don't put the sun directly behind you. Or if you do, dim it down a little bit, because again, it's a very bright burning ball of gas, and it draws the focus straight to it, and you can't see anything else around it. If you look, I'm having a hard time seeing the character here. Also, again, I don't get a very Western feel from it because there's all this wonderful fresh fruit and stuff here. There's a flying carpet. I do like the windmill water tower, whatever this is back here. They've got the barn going. That's fantastic. But I feel like they could have done more with it. Okay, so we'll start with this side. This one I feel like is almost like a repurpose of the spring one. They've got the horses out here, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of Western, but other than that, I don't feel like it is. I feel like maybe they edited down their spring one, or they submitted the spring one late, and it like after the deadline had stopped, and this is what we got. So don't think I'm going to vote for that one. It helps if you hit the right button. Oh, shoot. So I was going to vote for the one that I just clicked on to vote for, because between the two, I did like it. I liked that it had the nice, and I know that outfit, I believe that was the outfit from the shop. It had that very Western theme, so that's absolutely what they were going for with it. I would have liked to have actually looked at it. This is Bone Daddy. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
Paints? Oh, I can get you one.
Hi, bestie. All right, so we'll start with the left one this time. So, again, I feel like there's a lot of good base here. They obviously have the bar for the saloon happening here. They've got the tables out here. Really cool. Really, like, kind of, if somebody says Western, that's what I think of. That's kind of where I was initially thinking about going with mine. I feel like this would have been better served inside. I think the only reason they didn't was so that they could justify having the horses in here. However, I feel like in this specific instance, the horses are actually subtracting from the I forgot the word again, saloon. I'm going to like write that on my monitor because my brain keeps trying to throw it out. I feel like the horses are taking away from the saloon vibe here because they're going for something that should be inside. And I feel like this is, I think there is only the one or two poses for the horses. So they're all going to have that. Almost all are going to have that. And I feel like it's subtracting, it's not adding. I feel like it looks like they're in Storybook Vale. And I feel like if you're going to be in the Storybook Vale area and you're going to be outside, I feel like I forget what the Greek side, the right side of that map would have been a better location than going in, whatever this one is called. I'll look at the map later, but I feel like they could have chosen better because the trees, the orange and yellow doesn't really do it. It is more of a fall thing. But again, this is a personal preference. But ultimately, I feel like this would have been better inside. I like the goose. It's very cute. I think, again, that was another one that was in the shop that I didn't pick up, to my own demise, detriment, whatever. I do like the Donald Dream style that they have going here. He is very dapper, and I feel like this is absolutely something that you would see. So, if you can, move him closer, get rid of the horse, put it inside. In my opinion. Between the two, I feel like I'll probably end up voting for this one. Actually, no, I'm really torn. Because this one I feel like has a better story. Because these are things that you would, if you were walking around in a Western outside, this is more of what you would see. This would be closer to what I was looking for. They've got the mine back here with the spooky eyes going. They've got the rock over here to mine, which I know you can't move those. They've got the wagon. They've got the Vitalis cart, which probably should... Personally, and I did the same thing in mine, and I didn't go back and redo it. They should have put down the rails from, I think they're Oswald's level 10 quest or something like that. I do think that I like this one better. I feel like it's a little more on brand, a little more on theme than this one. But again, looking at both of them, the horses are in the exact same pose. And also his Western outfit is a little bit better than hers. Again, she's very country, he is very Western. All right. So I like this one. Again, I don't feel like it's the same thing. It's the Storybook Vale. This feels more fall festival than Western, than Wild West. Welcome back, Jen. Oh, yeah. So I booked an audiobook. I have a contract to do an audiobook. So I'm going to get started on that. Bless you, Wim. So that, yeah, really excited about that. And then on top of that, I have a couple of auditions in to different publishers. So one is for it sounds like kind of a small indie children's publisher company, maybe. I don't know if it's all specifically for kids, but the audition that I did was for almost like a child's version, or a kind of a beginner version of Moby Dick. Oh, and I'm here twice, so that means Sam rating. Good night. Yeah, she will be back. I think she just went to go do D-Stream stuff. But yeah, so I have one audition in to be a part of their roster of voiceover artists. And then I have another one who the contract that I currently have is for a kind of a religious, like, theology, like, it's religious based. It's talking about, like, how do you come to terms with your religion, and how do you, like, once I fully read it, I'll have a better idea of how to describe the book. But it is a kind of a religious-based one. The other one that I applied for and submitted an audition for is very much not. One of the Facebook groups that I'm in that is specifically for voiceover artists who do audiobook narration, somebody had posted looking for male narrators for their smutty romance books. Because it sounds like they do a lot of dual narration where, yep, you might get to hear this voice reading your smutty novels. But it sounds like they do a lot of dual narration with these novels where they have obviously the male perspective read by a masculine male voice and the feminine side read by a female feminine voice. So I'll take it a little more seriously than that. So let me know which ones, because I might have to avoid them. Honestly, fair. I can only imagine how interesting that would be. Like listening to Sweat read by your brother. Aw. Just for that, I'm not going to say anything. Oh God. I would love for that to happen at least once. I think I would die on stream if one of you ever came in and said, "Oh my God, I started listening to this book, blah, 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 blah." And you tell me the title of the book, and I would die laughing on the spot, and I would not be able to explain why. Well, I probably would after I finish laughing. Oh God. The mental image of that. Well, thank you for that warning about the ad break. Mix it up. Either that or it did it and I just didn't see it. Oh, it did it and I just didn't see it. Cool. Good job, mix it up. Okay, so back to judging other people's hard work. I like this one. I feel like it is very Fall Festival, not Wild West. Very nice looking snap. But yeah, I think the only... I saw you're changing TikTok username. I'm avoiding all narrators to share your name. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that whenever I do narrate the smutty books, I need to use an alias. So I'm opening suggestions for my smutty narrator name. And before anybody asks, I looked. Rock Hardington is already taken. I didn't actually look. I just came up with that on the spot. Yuck. Oh God. This is turning into one of the feral streams. That's what I get for potentially narrating audio smut. Okay. Don't you look at me in that Hannah emote. Okay. But yeah. So in general, I like the snap. I don't feel like it fits the theme. As far as this one goes, I feel like it's a mix here. It's kind of busy over here. I don't feel like there's one really kind of cohesive story. Again, with the Fall Festival because again, they're in Storybook Vale. This area right back here, like even the trees kind of work here, but this area specifically right here, I would have been more likely to vote for this if they had just put more emphasis on this, even with the samey pose of the horse. I feel like this is not necessary. And again, very fall festival with the pumpkins and all that. Okay. We'll go with the right one first. I'm trying to be very decisive kind of in the initial look at these. And I'm starting with the one that of the two I probably will not vote for. But we'll see. What is the logic for fall festivaling in April? See, and that's just it. The theme is Wild West for the Dream Snap that we're voting on right now. It's not fall festival. And so I think that's kind of what's taking me out of it. Yeah. Yeah, no. So much orange. Right. And that's where I was at. Like, if it was October, if it was November, if it was like Thanksgiving time, which I know Gameloft, I believe, is based in France, and so they're going to have a very different idea of holidays and things like that. But Fall Festival, October, November, both the last snap would have been beautiful. And kind of the same thing with this one. Like, I feel like I've seen multiple. So this one is Eternity Isle, but they're using. There's just a lot going on here. Honestly, it's a little overwhelming because there's so many different stories trying to be told here. I like the use of the cave. I like the use of the boxes. I like the wagon. The fire pit works. The random lamp in the middle of nothing, I don't think so. Or if you're going to do it, put that up on top of the table here. Get rid of the flower. Keep the cactus. Get rid of the sunflowers. Get rid of the bush. With the blue flowers, it's a little bit too alive. Yeah, this is definitely Eternity Isle, though, because it's got that. Get rid of the fresh fruit back here. I'm not sure what the target's for. And don't necessarily care for the well placement or that specific well style or the Storybook Vale house. I know they're going for that kind of very wood, feel. So I get it. But yeah, I do like the outfit. Again, feels very overexposed on the lighting and the random shadow here, because I don't think that's on his face regularly. But yeah, you like this one better than the other one? Because I do as well. I feel like it's a little more cohesive. It's got, the horses, which is the Western feel. It does feel very high noon at the corral kind of thing. Yeah, other than the lighting, I feel like this one is much better than the other one. I feel like both of these are pretty good. I like the placement and the use of the cave here. I feel like this is another one, though, that would have benefited from being inside. Because, welcome back, Sam. Another one that would have benefited from being inside, because they're going for a tavern over here, which is great.
What's that?
This, my friend.
But they went outside because they wanted the
Comes in
horse.
paints?
But
I'm getting one.
You've had a whole half already.
I don't feel like it was necessary to Don't mind me, forgot my redeems again. All good. Yeah, go all in on the tavern, go inside, skip the horse, because again, everybody's going to use the same pose on the horse. I haven't even been scrolling for that long, and I've seen this a lot. The outfit is good. The outfit works. But yeah, go inside. Of the two, I do like this one better. Again, I don't know if it's just the size of my monitor or what, but I feel like there's a lot of pixelation happening with these photos. But I do like this one. I'm going to be voting for this one. Because it's simple, but I feel like it does a good job of, you're in the West. The photos you took on Switch are always pixely. Okay, that could definitely be it. Because it's such a small, yeah. No, like, you're right. It's such a small screen that they're working with, and whenever it gets blown up to a larger size, especially when you're looking at it on a monitor my size, there's going to be a lot of pixelation happening. But I do like this one. I like that they've got the bones in here, the cactus. I feel like it's a good consistent one here. Yeah, I think the only thing I would kind of maybe think about dinging them on is just the random flowers here, but that's okay. Like they wanted to get something in here, and that's a little bit of extra color, and that's okay. And good job on the outfit. I like the use of the scarf here to bring in a little more color. It's simple, but it's nicely done. And we all know that I am a big fan of simple, if you've ever seen mine. Okay, don't click in the middle of it. Yeah, I like the left one too. So I'm going to start with the one on the right. I really like the composition of the picture here. I'm even okay with the horse. The sun is killing this picture for me though, because it's overexposing all of the light. Like if they had you like it, okay, and that's fair. I feel like it's too much light. I like there could be a better balance of it. Haven't seen anyone do that before. Okay. Other than that, I really like this. And honestly, like, after I look at the other one, I'll probably look at both again. Originality gets big points in your book. That's totally fair. There were other people that did something similar with the sun. But in general, I do really like this one. And I feel like having the horse this up front and center is doing a lot of work. I'm curious if there's anything behind them, but I'm not going to ding them for that because they did a really good job of the positioning of the horse. But let's look at the other one. She got that badonkadonk going. Wish the sun was off to the side a little bit instead of right in the middle. That might have even helped it too. Like, I get what they were going for, and I feel like it could have been one or the other. Either move it off to the side so that it's not like directly in the middle blinding you, or turn the lighting down a little bit. One or the other. But in general, I thought that one was really well done too. Just slight tweak on the execution. Let's see. Zoomed in, I like this less. Too much space on the edges, but the use of motif of Scrooge is very good. Yes. Yeah, that's really... I'm not typically a big fan of the motifs, but I feel like this one is well done. The boot over here is a little bit odd, and the caterpillar, whatever this is, over here is a little out of place, I feel like. And then you're right. And that's something that between you and Bree and everybody else, I've been really starting to be really more aware of is there's a lot of open space here, a lot of open space here. Like, they could have continued these planks a little bit further, and like you can see more back here. So like you don't have to have it full, like perfectly planked out here, but throw a few more in here just so that it looks a little less like a big gap here. I do like this one though. The pose is very cute. I like the general store here. I like, the outside of the saloon, kind of, that Western farmer's market feel, and Scrooge with his money bags. But yeah, I think you're right. I think zoomed in, it's not, some of the flaws start to come out a little bit. Between the two, initially I think I was going to vote for this one, but looking at it a little bit more critically, I am going to vote for this one. I feel like they could have even if they had kept the sun in the middle, just bring it down a little bit so like you can still see it like peeking out kind of, but just full blown right there in your face directly behind the character, I think is hurting it a little bit. In general though, I think it's fantastic. So we go with that one. All right. Off the bat, I'm not a huge fan of this one because I feel like the big green area here and the big green area here and then the big empty space here, I feel like it's too far back, and it's almost like I feel like it's like he's trying to hide something other than big open spaces. And like, if you're going to do that, if you want the focus to just be very on this character, use the smaller frame, like use the different image format. And also, I don't know that I've almost ever seen a Wild West town that had beautifully paved streets and nice green grass or anything like that, and with all the greenery. Not doing it for you. I like this one. I really like this one. The horseshoe archway is the centerpiece. Yeah, I didn't mind the archway so much, but it felt like it was, with everything else that was happening in it, it felt like it was just kind of taking away from that. And again, this is entirely subjective personal opinion. Like, nobody's right or wrong in how your opinion on any of this. And if you guys want to sit there at your keyboards and say this Amonis guy doesn't know what the heck he's talking about, that's perfectly fair. Please hold for just a moment. We're going to jam out for a second. Mm-hmm. Love this movie. Woo, Max! Hello, Puff. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're having a good evening. It's such a good song. I'm going to let this song play while I work on doing this really quick. Okay. All right. Back to what we were doing. I like this one. I really do. I feel like there's a couple of maybe minor things. Absolutely a bop. When that movie came out, that song was incredible. And it still is. Disney has some absolute bangers in there.
Hey everybody! Do we serve water in this bar?
You don't know me. Yeah, the whole dang soundtrack. And then straight into Fantasmic, another very good song. Hello, Huxley. Let me see if I can grab him. Nope. Played eye to eye at our wedding. I love that. He's over Wim harassing him. Yeah, I started to turn to try and grab him, but so when I'm sitting at my desk, when I'm streaming or I'm doing something that requires use of my keyboard, I lift my chair arms all the way up. So they're level. Yeah, he knew Dad was about to pick him up. So that they're level with the top of my desk, just so that I can have good wrist posture and stuff like that. And they're like perfectly. Oh. Sounds like Mom caught a hooks. Not doing it.
Watch that mug. Put me down, put me down, put me down.
You're fine. The people want to see you. Hi.
You're okay.
Please don't hurt me.
You're fine. Just let him rub on you for a minute.
Sorry.
Got it. Come here, big boy. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you for the glitter, son. Anyway. We do love a Hux though when he makes an appearance. His brother, not a chance. An attempt was made. I like this one. I really like this one. I feel like it's got good composition. They've got the good layers. I like the boardwalk there. I like the water tower. I know it's hard to tell that it's a water tower. The Mickey archway has taken me out of it just a little bit, but not so egregious that it's like, oh my God, this is the worst snap I've seen all night. Yeah, really, really good picture. And it feels very on theme without being too much. Cat hair all over my microphone now. But yeah. You got Sheriff Woody back here. You got a good outfit going. The one lamp feels a little bit out of place. It's like, what is it lighting back here? But Oh, there's another one back here. I feel like this one could have been over here. Yeah, the cacti have... Why do I feel as if Wim is rigging bingo? Aaron, all the mods rig bingo around here. Unless I'm actually doing a serious bingo game, it's all rigged. I mean, no, they would never do that. No, you cannot ruin the integrity of the bingo game. They don't actually rig it. I give them a hard time about it because that's what I do. And in turn, they accused me of reading smut and sounding like their brother. They, Kimchalada? They scheming? Yeah, you're innocent in all of this. Anyway. I'm going to pay for that later. The royal they. Oh, Wim, come back. Yeah, Kim rigs first seed and Wim rigs bingo. Yeah, in general, I like this one. They do have a surprisingly good amount of detail on the cactus, like Sam pointed out. The game is really pretty. There's occasionally things where it's like, oh my god, what were they thinking with that? But in general, it's really good. So, we'll go with that one. Work hard for that seed. Okay, so... Okay. I like this one in general. I probably did. I like this one in general. I get where they're going with the lights and the cameras here. It's a very like movie feel to it. Congratulations, Sam. Yeah, it's very much we're not actually in a Western. We're just shooting a Western movie. Very cute, very clever, very creative thought process. I feel like this could have been moved. Yeah, I like that it's a little bit of a different take. Because they're not like hardcore serious. Oh, it's a Western. It's a Western movie. So if things are a little bit weird, that's okay. The cactus here is bothering me a little bit. And the motifs, I don't think, are really adding anything. But they never do. Another person who has this motif, I feel like, kind of works, that throwing out the style of the rope, because I know that they don't have any control over that. I like this, I feel like, is a good use of the motif because it's a Western, it's a rope, you're going to use it. Okay, cool. That one I'll give him. The mustache on Maximus, I don't kind of get. Not sure where that one's at. In general, I like the idea of it. Just a little minor things, because it does look like there is more happening back here that is getting blocked by this cactus. Good night, Kim. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful night. Get good sleeps. Night on night. So yeah, I like the idea of that one. This one feels a little cramped. I think it's interesting that they went with the option to have their character so central but facing away from the camera. I feel like that's a really interesting composition choice. I wonder what the vision was for the pose. It feels like maybe they are, like, are they being a sheriff pointing at Flynn as you're a criminal, you're under arrest? Or, you know, pistol duel high noon? It's high noon. Anyway. I like that they've got the ranch going here. Like, yeah, it's a Pegasus ranch, but I would prefer this compared to Big Al's Toy Barn with the Big Al's Toy Barn sign. I like that they've got the water tower going behind it. I suppose either way, the unbothered goose in the front is funny. Yes, the geese are cute. I don't think I purchased the geese, which I am now kind of kicking myself for. But I also have all the geese from Wish Blossom Ranch. It does feel a little cramped, though. Like, I feel like they're going for the railroad tracks here. And I feel like all of this would push it back 5 squares, maybe. But that's a personal preference. And then again, the cactus feels like it's very much just kind of filling this space in. Of the two, I feel like I am going to go with the one on the left, though. Just because I don't know. Because other than the rope, the motifs are kind of a miss on this one, and they're giving me a little bit of pause in voting for this one. Yeah, honestly, I really do think that between the two, I actually like the right one better. Looking at both of them side by side, doing it. Have a good night, Gabs. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Get good sleep. Have a good rest of your week if we don't see you. Again, another banger. Okay, so at this point, I've claimed all 50 of my moonstones. I think I want to be done with voting because I've already been going for an hour and a half and I've done nothing else yet, pretty much. And apparently I'll have to go back and do it again because it now says that I've claimed none of my moonstones, and I don't remember what my balance was when I started this process to check. Okay. So before we get into that, check out the shop. Y'all, I looked at it does it to us every week. I hate that. Yeah. I was sorely tempted when I opened the shop this morning, which I should not have done until I got on stream. I was sorely tempted because the Jester Ensemble, I like the top To be fair, you weren't supposed to stream today. No, that's fair. I wish they would let us look at this. Like, let me look at the whole thing. I like the Jester ensemble. I just don't know when I would use it. I don't think that I care for the wings. I'm not a big wing person in general in this, though. Like, I like just the regular Dream Light gliding look. University Varsity Mike is cute. I don't know that it's worth 2,500 moonstones. The Jester Skunk is also cute, but if I don't get the outfit, I don't think I'm going to get the Jester Skunk. I feel like I've got plenty of other skunks going on. The White Rabbit waistcoat is cute, but not one that I think I'm really... Oh, apparently we finished that playlist already, so it just moved on to something else. Alright, cool. Do it, lady. The lady in question being Spotify. Never met a Fall Out Boy song I didn't love. Yes. Yeah, so I feel like these are kind of just, for lack of a better term, bait because of the Dream Snap theme for the week. The furniture bundle is cute. The monster plushies are cute. Yzma's cabinet. Okay, so, and I talked about this with Wim earlier. I feel like naming wise, this is a missed opportunity. Not because of the look or anything like that, but I feel like, and this is so low level and dumb that I feel like only my brain could have come up with something this dumb. I feel like they missed out on not calling it Yzma's secret, including the quotation marks lever, because it harkens back to the joke in the movie about where Kuzco is talking about Yzma's secret lab. So anyway, no real point to that. I just feel like it was kind of a missed opportunity for them. Bugs Life Decor Bundle is going to be huge this week because of the Dream Snap theme. I don't know that I will be purchasing it, but I feel like it'll be really helpful for a lot of people. The Toy Story Land set is cute. Not anything that I'll probably be purchasing. Mushroom Manor House is cute. Again, not anything I plan on purchasing. The purple, so this is the recommended stuff, so this is going to be different from what everybody else has in their shop. The purple cottage is really tempting. I might have to do that. I'm not going to do it right now, but I might have to. The Agrabah wall set is tempting because it's an additional wall set. It would be good to use to decorate around Aladdin and Jasmine's house. I have never actually seen Turning Red. Just wasn't really on my radar, didn't really appeal to me. So these don't really either. The onesie is cute. It's very cute. Okay. And then for the Star Wars nerd, they are attacking very directly my wallet. I can see why it didn't appeal to you. You are not the target audience. Okay. I was like, is there some subtle slam there that I'm missing, or yeah, it there was nothing wrong with it from what I heard about it. It was very good. It was very appropriate. I don't know. I can't really think of a better term for that. It's about girlhood. Yeah, that's what I heard. And that wasn't the reason that I didn't watch it, but it certainly didn't help like draw me to it. But I'm okay with that. I am adult enough and capable enough to say, hey, this thing isn't for me. I'm going to skip out on it, but I'm not going to trash it either. Like, it is perfectly okay to look at something and say, you know, that content isn't for me, and move on with your life. There's so many people in this world that lack the ability to do that. Anyway, yeah, direct assault on my wallet with the Naboo Villa bundle and the Naboo interior furniture bundle. I don't think I'm going to get them this week. I'm also aware enough of things in the world that these are probably going to be back in the main shop in 3 weeks whenever it turns into May. Because it'll be Star Wars month. And then I still haven't purchased the deluxe Springtime Valley bundle, the building set, the Dream Castle. Haven't done any of that yet. Specifically the first week of May. Exactly. They'll be back. And then I'm done with the Star Path at this point. And then Moonstones. I'm having a thought of a way to generate content, generate attention, for lack of a better word, a community thing for the stream that anybody who plays Dreamlight Valley is able to compete in. I haven't fully fleshed out the idea yet. Do the thing. Yeah, I'm thinking about, and I'll talk about it a little bit just as a very high level thing. I'm thinking about doing some sort of people do decorating contests in Paley. I'm thinking about doing something similar for Dreamlight Valley, but I want it to go kind of big. And so I'm thinking like, because Pocahontas is about to come out, so I'm thinking doing like a big like picking a biome, probably something like Forest of Valor, or even doing, because I think there's either Forest of Valor or Forest Island. Probably Forest of Valor, because I don't think... Oh no, people can. Sorry, I'm still thinking of this idea, but basically saying you can either do a full remodel of your Forest Island or your Forest of Valor and giving away some Moonstone packs. Or PayPal for people to be able to purchase Moonstone packs. Doing kind of a big contest for that and giving people like an extended period of time, because the thing with Dream Snaps is they're so time gated and they're so small, because you get this specific picture and it kind of limits people on what they're able to do. So that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like it would be kind of a cool thing to do. It would be entirely funded by me. And there would be, I haven't done any other, like, this is still in the early concept stage. It would probably be closer to, I'll probably like maybe announce it, at the start of the Star Path, and then set a date once we know specifically how long the Star Path is going to be, set it for like a week before the end of the Star Path. But it also has been too long since I've seen Wimmy flex her decor powers. Yeah. And then it would be a community voted thing. I would take like a Saturday and do an extended stream. That way, and I would do Base Valley. That way I could go tour it. So yeah, thoughts, ideas percolating. I'll provide more detail once I know what I want, how I want to do it, what I want the quote expectation to be is, and just do something big. And then yeah, it would be a community vote thing. So, anyway, so that was the shop. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've claimed all the rewards. Claimed all the bonus rewards. The other thing, now that we've done so much other stuff, the Extravaganza event has started. So from today through April 21st, you'll have the opportunity to find all kinds of bright colored eggs. Search everywhere in the valley and in realms you've unlocked. Don't forget to search with your royal fishing rod too. These will help you earn exclusive rewards. So the big draw for these is the blue, pink, and yellow spring rabbit companion pets. I did apparently play this at some point previously, because I remember having to collect all the eggs and stuff. And then there are quests to do. And then there are tasks. No problem, Burnett Buckeye. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. I hope you're able to get lots of good sleeps. Don't forget to squeeze those corgos. Corgi, doggo. Yeah. Okay. So what are all those things? So the rewards. So I have it pulled up. So there are new things this year. Let's see. I recognize most of them. So yeah, let me... display capture. Let me make sure I get the right one. Cool. Did it. I did it. Okay. Too far. So new things this year. Let me scroll that so that it's above my head. So this year they have added a pastel egg cooking station. Arlo has a birthday coming up on Saturday, so he's getting all the fun things this week. So they've added the pastel cooking station. They've added the egg banner, lamp posts of blue, green, purple, red, and yellow. And I really like that they're doing the different colored lamp posts. So yeah, so they got those added. And then most of the stuff is the other stuff that you recognized. So the over easy chair, the don't put them all in one basket, the sunny side up arch, the egg bounty, the spring stall, lamps. Yeah, definitely interestingly shaped. And then, yeah, the springware, tableware, the egg chair, the balloons, the tree, chocolate, mimosa eggs, egg bowl, the tulip bouquet, the lamp, and then the three companion pets, which I really need to get the companion pets because they are one of the only things other than Maleficent's Raven, which I'm working on the quests for that, Pluto, they are the only animal companions in the base game that I do not have. So this has been driving me a little bit bonkers since I started collecting the companions, so I can finally get them. Yeah, so those will happen this week. If you are not familiar with this event, I suppose I can... there are different ways to collect the eggs. Let me go back, and it's all within the base game valley. I love the train sound whenever you go to or leave Wish Blossom Ranch. But in your plaza, I moved mine, but in your plaza, you have 3 bushes that give eggs. So you can collect those, and these do work like the other bushes where you can proc the bonus items. So you can get eggs that way. And those are the excellent fruit that you can get from that. There are also fishy green eggs that show up on Dazzle Beach. If you are on Dazzle Beach, you're looking for purple fishing spots. Do not perceive my memories, which are scattered all over the place. Let's see if I have any right now. But yeah, so scattered around the beach, you'll find purple fishing spots. There's one. Grabbing the moonies. Get that out of the way. But yeah, so if you find the purple fishing spots, that's where the green eggs will come from. And I think there can be 1 or 2 of those up at a time. Earlier I had 2 up. I don't know kind of what the respawn time or whatever looks like for those though. But like, so right now I only have 1 up, I believe. But I think it's pretty standard. Thank you, Jen. But yeah, so you're looking for the purple fishing spots for the green eggs on Dazzle Beach. I try. Thank you. So that was the green eggs, and then the wild spring eggs, which are the blue. Yeah. Okay, so the wild spring eggs are the blue eggs. There's another purple pool. I'm going to go grab that really quick. The blue spring eggs appear in your base valley in any of the biomes. There can be up to, I believe, 10 at a time available. So that was the green one. So wild spring eggs are the blue ones. 5 will appear every 30 minutes with a maximum of 10 present at a time. So these, like right now I'm in the Peaceful Meadow, there's one there. There's another one. So those are going to be anywhere in the base game valley. That's one thing I do like about the free events as well, is that they don't expand it out to the other expansion DLCs. I kind of wish they would, but that's a whole separate conversation. I thought I saw another one down here. Nope. Okay. Oh, I did. But yeah, so those, like I said, there can be up to 5 new ones will pop up every 30 minutes with a maximum of 10 present at a time, and they can be across any of the biomes. The other ones that you can get are the purple spring eggs, and purple spring eggs can appear in specific realms that you have explored to unlock characters. And those can appear in the Moana realm, the Toy Story realm, and the Wall-E realm, which is right there. So we go into the Moana realm. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, you are able to fast travel to the specific realms using the fast travel. You can't leave them from here because you can't open up the map, but you are able to travel to those realms. But yeah, so we're currently in the Moana realm, and there are the purple eggs here. This is very similar. Purple spring eggs will appear every 5 minutes with a maximum of 10 present at a time, and that's scattered across between all 3 of those realms. So for example, we just found 4, 5, 6. So there are the purple ones. So we can go back out. And then we go to Moana. The Toy Story realm also has the purple eggs. And all of these can be used to craft the different spring items. So you definitely want to make sure that you're collecting these. Because they count for being able to craft and all that, the spring festival items, the extravaganza items. And then the last realm that they can appear in, we did Moana, Toy Story, and they can also be in the Wall-E realm. I was going to say, I don't think there will be any in here just because I feel like I grabbed 10 already across the first 2 realms, but they can also appear in Wall-E's realm. I did find some in here earlier. We definitely would like if they were in the Wall-E realm because it's super small and really easy to check really fast if they're in here. But there are none in there at the moment. So yeah, between those 3 realms, the valley, and then the bushes that are available, that is how you can collect all the different eggs. And then you might be wondering, but I'm honest, what do I do with all those crazy eggs? I have so many of them. There are specific tasks. That would be the wrong thing. For the event, there are specific tasks, and I'm going to call them tasks. So there is the... Rudy, did you win bingo and I missed it? Congratulations, Rudy. Love seeing friends get bingo, even if I miss it. Necessities. Nature's recipes. Okay. So there are 4 tasks to complete with this that reward some of those prizes. And then Wally also has quests that pop up that reward the eggs as well. So if you find yourself running low on eggs, you can get those through there as well. Where? Okay. So yeah, there are, just since they're here, that's a perfect time to look at all the different colors because I don't have any of the yellow ones. Yeah, the purple ones come from the ground inside the Moana, Toy Story, and Wall-E realms. The excellent fruit, which is kind of the bigger one, are harvested from the egg bushes that spawn within your valley, and those respawn every 60 minutes. The yellow spring vegetable, the eggtable eggs, are, you can craft the seeds to plant those using the other eggs. The wild spring eggs, which are the blue eggs, are foraged from the ground in your base valley, any of the biomes. And then the fishy green egg comes from, fishing purple pools on Dazzle Beach, and those can spawn maximum of 2 pools at a time, but they're on a really fast respawn, 1 to 2 minutes. So those are almost constantly up during this event, which is nice. Thank you for that, tree. Okay. So those... What am I doing here? I was going to go look for Wall-E. Okay, so for the event tasks, the exceptional decorating task requires you to place 4 egg-themed crafted furniture pieces in your somewhere. The Wally Loves Flowers wants you to collect 50 flowers while hanging out with Wally. In here somewhere. Oh, in your, yeah. Pretty much anywhere you can place furniture that'll count towards that. Wally Loves Flowers. The spring taste test requires you to eat all 3 of the spring meals, which is the spring chocolate, the spring egg bowl, and the spring mimosa eggs. You said place 4 egg-themed decorations in your somewhere, so I said in your, oh, sorry, in your somewhere. Now I got the tone. And then that's not where eggs come from. It requires you to harvest the spring vegetable seeds, which you have to gather the other eggs to get. So let's see what we can do right now, because we have a good number of eggs. So we'll go back. Let's start with the crafting station. Functional items. Okay. So I can give Wally the pretty flower basket as soon as I figure out where good old Wally is. Wally. Let's check up on my Plaza Island, which is where I have most of their houses. Wally. Oh yeah, that's the other one for voiceover stuff. I've saw a place that Disney Animation is looking for, like, it's an open audition for voiceover people to actually come and spend a week at their studios for like learning voiceover stuff. So it's one of those things where it was like, you'd be completely remiss if you did not at least apply for that. So I'll be doing that after stream too. All right, so Wally is giving us eggs. So I'm done with that quest. Let me go. I need to go to the Frosted Heights. I need one more. So one of the things that I'm doing as well is I am really grinding character quests. Trying to finish them before Pocahontas comes out. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that done just because I do have a lot of quests left and some of them get really time locked. But I'm going to get as close as I can. And right now I need one more of the black passion lilies, which I think that one was green. But yeah, I only need one more. There it is. I was going to say I'd be a little surprised if at least one hadn't respawned yet. Okay, so let's go. I've got to stop walking around with Max. Like, I like that he digs all the stuff up, but dude digs everything up. Yeah, so there's also there's a daily quest for Wally, which is the blooming and blossoming, which was crafting the basket, the flower basket. And then there's the bunnies on the run, which there's a bunch of bunnies that appear in your closet. Closet? Plaza? What? Brain. You can, I don't think about it. And I think he still digs. I think at that point they just don't collect. Because you can set it to either gameplay. So companion pickup settings, they'll either collect everything, collect only carried items. So if you don't have any wood in your bag, they won't pick it up. But if you pick up one piece of wood, they will start picking it up. Or you can tell them not to collect anything at all. So I could change that, but I also it gets a little bit bothersome, but it's also good for the gold. So I'm not going to complain about it too much. Or at least not enough to actually do anything about it, even though I literally have the menu open right now. I really should. Okay. So I need 3 ink vials. I need 3 paper. And then 3 invitations. And bring those to Wally as well. Sit on my butt. Fine, I'll pick it up. Okay, we'll give those to Wally. So this one is an actual quest for Wally. I need 6 tinkering parts, and then I need to go back and do, since I'm over here crafting, six tinkering parts. What else do I need to do? Furniture. So I need the telescope for that quest. Egg banner. I'm not going to worry about crafting any of the... Actually, I can. I'm not going to worry about crafting those at the moment. Let's see. Event. And how do I get the seeds for the vegetables? Spring vegetable grown from seeds, which is crafted using other seeds. So how do I get the vegetable seeds? Refined material which can be crafted at a crafting station using limited time eggs found during the extravaganza event. Aha. Okay, I probably don't need we'll just go ahead and do 25 of those. I have to say, as a fan of the Cheshire Cat, I love that he just sits in his tree and just does some self-soothing. Okay. I'm going to mess with my graphic settings here. Go ahead and plant some eggs. Also, I am absolutely positive about the fact that whenever I'm planting stuff in my valley, I have to I'm almost compelled to do blocks in multiples of 5 and like 5 by 5 squares. I don't know why, it's just a compulsion. Like my pumpkin island is 25 by 25. There is some weirdness in my brain. Everything is just so ordered. And now in goes my wife. I think she is. Okay, I do have food on me. Partake of some fruitcake. Throw these down real quick. Rest of your days, it's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. All right. When he was a young warthog, when I was a young warthog, found his aroma like a certain appeal, it could clear the savannah after every meal. All right, so we've got that going for the cooking stuff. Downwind. Okay, so I think I am good at the moment on the spring extravaganza stuff. So I'm going to work on this quest for Wally. I'm going to give him his new telescope. Wally. Place the new telescope in a location of your choosing. Okay, well, it's a telescope, so we got to do it at night. Merlin in his Bermuda shorts still cracks me up. Bermuda? take part in Wally's Astronomy Club. Oh yeah, by the way, did they republish their video? What's this game? Game Loft, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Pocahontas update. Because I know they did. Okay, well that's not the official one, so I'm not going to do that one. I don't want to run afoul of somebody. Okay. So I'm not going to do that right now, but if you watched the video, does anybody have any speculation as to whom our new character is? That's the next one for like the mementos or whatever. Really curious to see what people think. You think it's Madame Mim? Like, do you know that? Or is that just hopeful, wishful thinking? I mean, either way, I would love if it was Madame Mim. You think? Okay. I mean, I certainly, like I said, I would not complain if it was Madame Mim. We were talking about that last week, 2 weeks ago. Marvelous, Madame Mim. And if she does, then we'll definitely be doing a watch party of Sword in the Stone in the Discord, because that whole scene is just one of my favorites. This is an emergency meeting of the Design Advice Council. We're all here to help Cindy get her inspiration back. Perfect, because I've never seen it. We will fix that. We'll make it happen.
How interesting.
It's such a good movie. I think Cinderella might be inspired by the world of patterns. My polka dots always make me happy, but there's all kinds of patterns to explore. Stripes, florals, even paisleys. Very true. What do you think? I think Cinderella should look around her for inspiration. Sometimes the best ideas are just waiting outside our door. Maybe I can help by taking some pictures. That way she can study them and put all this advice into action.
Living here is wonderful. I'm having such a good time.
All right. So, sunbirds means that I need to change my outfit. This outfit is really cute. It came from Jasmine's level 10 quest. I need to change this outfit. First, let's get rid of the goggles. Next. No, oh, not hats. Coats. What am I feeling coat-wise? I didn't even mention it. It was really nice. I was able to help somebody in the Disney Dreamlight Valley subreddit get a painting that they really wanted. They had posted that they were looking for one of the Frozen paintings on, I think, like Thursday or Friday of last week. And I happened to get that painting pop up in my Scrooge's shop the next day. And so I was like, I replied, and I was hoping they would see it before it went away. So I replied, and I was like, I have that painting in Scrooge's shop right now. I don't need it. And I waited, and it took them a couple of hours, which is fine. They were doing whatever they needed to do. But they got back to me and they were like, if you still have it, can I come to your, I'll need your help getting to your valley. And I was like, yes, no problem. Let me send you a DM with my code and the instructions on how to get it. But they were able to come over and they got their painting and they were so happy. And I love stuff like that. I love when I get to be helpful. Let's see. Oh my. Let's see. You're fine. Necessities, the simple bare necessities. About your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities. Nature's recipes. Necessities to life. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. We have pants and we need shoes. I like the green heels, but I don't want to wear heels. I need more shoe options. Oh my god, shoes. Eventually I'll pick a pair of shoes. Not with capris. No boots. Too fancy. Not fancy enough. Okay, I don't think the capris are going to work. Need to reset the filter. Let's see, where did those skinny jeans go? Gray boot cut. It is so not strange, but it's so different for me in particular to actually think about this kind of stuff, to the amount of thought that I'm putting into this. There. Pretty basic, but that's okay. She cute. Normally, I would not put this much time and energy into thinking about what my character looks like. Okay, so I need pictures of sunbirds, which are going to be over this way. There it is. All right, white and red hydrangea. I'm pretty sure on the beach. White and red. Yeah. To the beach. Let's go to the beach each. And citrines. Gem, citrine, Glade of Trust, and Sunlit Plateau. Well, of course. Let's see if you need materials, just request. Thank you so much, Aaron. I really appreciate it. I probably have citrines in my storage, and I don't know if it's like I have to take a picture of them before they're mined, or if I can do it after and just like drop it. So let me go up and check here. Don't think that's... Nope. This is the way to Nashville, or you'll be getting towed. Grab the egg while we're here. I have a feeling that's a citrine. Nope, that's a topaz. Alright, let's go water those eggs. Now, please don't look at my storage. Yeah, probably fair. Okay, cool. Distracting myself with Palea. Good, then you can't see how bad my storage is in again. Now that I have more access to storage stuff, I really need to go back through and redo it. Alright, playlist is kind of hitting tonight. Okay, so let's get rid of all the steaks. Get rid of the flowers that are moderately easy to get. We'll keep the fish. Go back to Daisy's boutique. Gotta grab the egg while we're here.
I'm very happy to see you.
Room divider screen.
Oh.
Divider base, then we could all decorate it together. Okay. While I'm here, just clear all of that out. Yeah, I really need to get into Palea at some point and work on the bundle boards because the biggest thing is the bugs, I think. But now that people figured out that thing with doing it on top of the pillar or whatever, it might make it a little more tolerable for me. I just get so overstimulated whenever I try and actually help hunt the bugs. Like, if I'm just kind of there. Yeah. The damn pillar trick. It probably won't happen anytime soon because the Paleo devs, I don't think, will be that worried about it. But I'm sure that at some point in the near future, they're going to put like invisible walls. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I've done that pretty frequently. Like, whenever Whim's doing bug stuff, like bug hunting or whatever, if there's enough people there, I just jump in a group and like I try to help. Like, I stand way back, and if any start to like get away or whatever, then I try to contribute, but it's a lot.
I so enjoyed spending time.
But I will get there. Talk to Jasmine. You are not Jasmine, Hades. Where did she go? Oh, that one has one of the kill 'em in treasure chests. I had completely forgotten about that. So yeah, they can't just block it. Probably make it so you can't place a lure. Yeah. I was helping Sam with Duskwing. Just her and I was great, but then random started joining in. Anxiety started spiking. Exactly. Whim, they want to use your favorite color for stuff. I have some purple pigment ready. You'll have to cook it with a few other ingredients to make a purple dye. Otherwise, the cloth could look splotchy, and no one wants that. I also have some golden yellow dye already made up that'll make a perfect contrast to the purple. It'll be so lovely.
It's so amazing to be among this many friends.
Okay, cook the ingredients together to make a purple dye. Okay, it said cooking. Lucky to be doing Duskies in a huge group. Yeah. Yeah, since I'm working from home for the next couple of days, I might have to keep an eye out for something like that, somebody doing a group. Because I think most of the other stuff I can do relatively easily by myself once I sit down and just focus on doing it.
Well, look who it is.
Oh, what fabulous colors. Just give me a moment. And it's done. Take this. Thanks. It looks like... it's really brightly colored. That's because of the dye, silly. Thanks for dyeing the fabric. What do you think I should do next? Go check in with Minnie.
Night out on the plaza.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, I need to talk to you.
Cinderella's nearly done making her room divider screen, but she was wondering if you have any ideas for finishing it. Certain Matt would go out of his way to help you, by the way. He loves that shit. Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that if I asked Matt, he'd be like, let's go, bro. Yeah. That's one thing that for when I'm with a group, I'm fine, but as soon as it random starts spiraling, yeah, I think for me, it's that you never know how random people are going to act or behave in a group. If it's a group of people that you know, and it's similar for me, like random people, you never really know what you're going to get whenever you start interacting with people outside of your group. Sometimes it works really well, and we've seen perfect examples of that on Twitch. Like, you get some people that are really great. You get other people that it's like, okay. 2 fabrics dyed just for you. They're beautiful.
Wonderful.
One last finishing touch from Minnie as well.
It was lovely to see you.
You do need the phone. Here we go.
The valley is becoming such a special place.
Talk with Cinderella. Cinderella, Cinderella, we can help her, Cinderella. Now, since you and the others were so generous, I was able to make a second room divider screen from all those materials. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
It's so amazing to be among this many. Oh, yeah, thank you for coming to see me.
Critter Chaos. We really, now that we have Cinderella, I demand, Gameloft, I know none of you are in here, but I might just post this on TikTok. I demand Gus Gus. Look at me. Look at me. I'm in my eyeballs. I demand Gus Gus. Watching you. Anyway. When I was working at the manor house, my mouse friends would often assist me. Jacques, Gus, and the others were so helpful, so I thought I would ask the animals here for help. I'm positive Remy prefers cooking to crafting. Yes. If you asked a shark, that might have been Maui in disguise. Also, yes. I demand Jacques and Gus Gus. I'm not sure Simba really understands the concept of furniture. So, I might have talked about this before, but part of the reason why I am attached to Gus Gus, other than the fact that Caps is an accident, but I'm keeping it absolutely. Gus is such a good character. They both are. But Gus is not only a fun character who reminds me of me. When I was in my fraternity in college, I was nicknamed Gus after that specific Gus Gus. Because the line nickname that our nicknames were based on Disney characters. That was Mike's nickname as a baby. You're surrounded, Jen. But yeah, that was my nickname because we weren't all Disney characters, but so going from my line was affectionately referred to as the Bush because we're a bunch of dudes and it was funny. But also I was in Kappa Kappa Psi. It is a music education fraternity, or not music education, music organization, service organization. We did a lot of fundraising and it was not a social fraternity, but a lot of fundraising, a lot of service projects specifically for the music department. And it's a very widespread fraternity. There's a lot of chapters. And so when people would transfer between universities, they would, if they were already in the fraternity, they would be able to join the new chapter of the fraternity at the school that they were at. and they would be basically quote unquote adopted. They would basically be adopted by one of the lines of brothers, because the way that it works is, you know, the people who started the organization at that particular school were referred to as the alphas, the alpha class at that university. And then as more people joined, basically you got a big brother, and you were in a line of, you know, that could be traced all the way back up to the alpha person in that class for your line. Hell yeah, Whiz plushie. Grats, Jen. Love it. That's awesome. I need more plushies. I need to stop doing this too, because it just looks awkward. But our line was the one that whenever people would transfer, we would take those guys in. Like our group, co-ed service frat. So we had it was a sorority that we worked with that did the same thing. Called Tau Beta Sigma, and they were a fantastic group of people as well. And so we would accept transfers into our specific line. And so it started off as most of them were just a direct line. It was, there was the alpha who had one little brother, and it was just a straight line. Well, since ours would take multiple little brothers because we were acceptable, we were okay doing that, instead of being just one direct line that you only had to remember, like this specific line of people, it basically exploded. And whenever you wrote out all of the names in like relational like lines or whatever, it looked like a bush. It was hilarious because we had so many people who were like, oh, I'll take another little brother and all that kind of stuff. And so each of the lines kind of had their own shtick for how they did their names. And so my portion of that started with Freakazoid, because that was a really popular cartoon when he joined, and he looked a lot like Freakazoid. And then his little brother was Waldo from Where's Waldo. His little brother was Bravo, after Johnny Bravo. His little brother was Merlin, named after Disney Merlin, and he looked like him too. And then I was Gus. Unfortunately, I was never in a position to be able to take my own little brother, so I did not pass along that incredible series of names. Let's see. Up until actually pretty recently, I could name most of the guys, because one of the things that we did was we memorized everybody in our line all the way back up to the alpha. So it was a lot of freaking names that I had memorized, and I could do it in the specific order down to everybody in, I think, the class or two after mine, because I still hung out with them. And then I just stopped after that. Let's see. Yep, I couldn't do it right now though. But yeah, and then there was another line that was kind of an offshoot that had, one of the people in that line was named Bunsen. It was such a werewolf sentence. Yeah, we had a lot of really interesting character names. We memorized everyone in our line down to the alpha. Yes. Yeah, very, very werewolf coded. But yeah, so I was, Gus was my nickname. Gus was my character, to the point where one of my first, because once you become a member of the fraternity, you can buy, once you're fully initiated, you can buy letters for your fraternity. And we had a really cool shop in town that let us do custom letters. They had all sorts of custom cloth patterns and stuff like that. My big sister, who was a member of the sorority, they're the ones that buy you your first set of letters. She actually had them make letters that were the cloth pattern. If you looked at it sideways, it was like Gus. So it had his hat his shirt and then his body were the outlines of the letters. The colors matched the outline. And so it was really cool. Anyway, there's, if it didn't already get marked off, there's Amonis's random story for the night. Okay. I'm going to go. I do not still have it. No, unfortunately. So first, it has been probably, because I was probably in my 20s, like super early 20s whenever that happened, and I am now 41. So unfortunately, I don't have that. The only surviving set of letters that I still have is, the other thing was, so yeah, if I still had them, I would absolutely show them off, because I spent probably more than I reasonably should have on letters, and I would absolutely show all of them off, because I had a lot of really cool, really fun ones. No, at this point, though, the only set that I still have is one of the other things that we did was, so your big sister bought you your first set. Your big brother, as part of the tradition of this fraternity, everybody had I made a quilt of all my college shirts and letters because I couldn't get rid of them, but don't nearly fit in them. Yes. Yeah, I was a lot smaller when I was in this fraternity, and so mine absolutely wouldn't fit anymore either. And just through various moves and things like that over the years, I lost all of them. The only ones that I still have is your big sister bought you your first set of letters, and then your big brother, once you had been in the fraternity for a certain amount of time, we had a tradition where everybody in our specific chapter had a hockey jersey. I think it was Toronto Maple Leafs based hockey jersey, because the colors of the fraternity were blue and white, and Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys were blue with white stripes for their home jerseys. And so we went to a custom hockey jersey place and got our letters, like our nickname, our fraternity letters, our chapter letters, and our class designation. So like my class was Alpha Zeta. So we got that all sewn onto a hockey jersey. I still have that jersey. It's hanging up in our closet. That is the one set of letters that I have managed to keep this entire time. I don't even know if that fits anymore, because both myself and my head have gotten bigger, so I don't know if I would be able to even put it on right now. But yeah, it was really cool.
Oh dear.
I scampered away with my tools. There was a hammer, a pencil, and a spool of thread. Yeah. All right. Yeah, adulting does suck. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool being in the fraternity. I just, at this point, like, I still, there wouldn't be any reason for me to, because we haven't talked in forever. But if one of those guys ever reached out and said, hey, I need like this specific thing from you, or, like if they were in town or whatever, and they were like, hey, I need a place to crash or something like that, like, obviously there would be a conversation with Wim. But if they truly needed something from me, I would drop pretty much whatever I had going on. I mean, within reason, like, you need to crash on my couch? Sure, no problem. But it's just one of those things where priorities shift, and just, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, college was a lot of fun. I got to go to multiple college football bowl games, and so So I think I am going to go ahead and wrap it up here for the evening. Because I do have a couple of recordings and stuff that I need to get started on. So we'll talk to Alice real quick, then we'll go get started on that.
I'm listening.
Tootin' this cowboy in the Wild West. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop here before I keep going and keep trying to do stuff. Let me see. Who is doing stuff? Oh. Does anybody have any suggestions, preferences? I'm looking at keeping it in the Disney Dreamlight realm. So, all right, let me go ahead and do the raid out screen, do the ending screen, pause this music, and I will find some place to send everybody. Hang on, I'm getting a communique from the other office. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. I know, thank you, I know it was a little bit of a shift to having me go live tonight instead of Wim. And then I will also be live again tomorrow night. And tomorrow night we're going to be playing Marvel Rivals. So if anybody wants to come and hang out and do that, if you would like to learn to play Marvel Rivals, then we can be new at it together. Or if somebody just wants to come and show me how to do it, please feel free to do so. It is available on the Epic Game Store for free. So if anybody wants to play, let me know. Come on by, come hang out. We'll chat, we'll yap it up. I'll be bad at the game. We can be bad together. And then I think, so since I went live tonight, I believe Wim will go live on Friday night. I think we just did a swap. Yeah. And she'll be playing Palia. So if you'd like to come hang out, absolutely always welcome. Otherwise, we will talk to you later. Don't forget, so I'll be live with Marvel Rivals tomorrow night, and then Saturday afternoon, I'm doing another Pathfinder stream. I'm going to put a couple of polls in the Discord because we're going to start character creation. We'll be looking at that, and I'm going to let everybody vote on what kind of character we should make. So we'll be doing a character sheet as well as actually creating it in Hero Forge, which is a mini design platform for designing miniatures of the character, and then I'll get that purchased and all that to show off on stream at some point. So I'll throw some polls in the Discord. Feel free to vote. My wedding cake toppers are Hero Forge minis. Jen, you're in the right place. And I love it. And then if you don't make it back in between now and then, Saturday night, we are finishing the epic conclusion of Vampires and Werewolves versus Other Vampires with Breaking Dawn Part 2. So yeah, we will talk to everybody next time. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great evening, and we will talk to you next time.
Fire's low, but the spirit's high. The stars are winking in the sky. One last round before we part. Raise your mugs and warm your heart. Eman is leads with a voice so true. A home for the many, not just a few. but the love will grow. Him keeps the peace, Jen rides the wave. The Kinty lad is here, bold and brave. Through quests and jokes we've sailed the stream, a tavern built on every dream. The chat's alive, a roaring sea, a place where all of us are free. The mods are stars, they guide